Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Dr. Hyde here at the Wellness Way Houston Memorial. I wanted to come live to you guys to talk about coffee because it's something that I've had a couple of people ask me about, and there's been some conflicting views whether coffee is really good for you or really bad for you. And it's obviously super common. There's like a Starbucks on every corner, everyone's got their own coffee mug that's personalized. I'm one of them, so I figured it'd be a good thing to talk about. So coffee, we say, is like one of the most used drugs because it is a stimulant, right? And there's a lot of people like, oh, give me that extra shot of caffeine in it, so just to kind of get your day going. And it's a pretty emotional thing too. Like everyone gets, oh, Michelle's on here. Hey, Michelle. Um, Everybody loves coffee. I mean, there's probably a handful of people that I know that don't drink coffee, and it's kind of like, do you really need it in the morning to get your day started? Because I know some people that like legitimately don't want to be talked to until they've had their coffee. And for me, it's probably more of a psychological thing because, I don't need coffee. I can get up and go, but it's like, oh, coffee would sound so good right now. Like coffee would be the best. So when you just make it and you drink it anyways. So one thing I want to talk about is the benefits versus the risks of drinking coffee. For one thing, risk is drinking something every day or consuming something every day is a little bit more dangerous for your body because if you have some leaky gut issues going on or some autoimmune things going on and you're introducing this to your body every day, there's a higher chance your body is going to go and attack it. Which is one of the things that we talk about in people who have food allergies. Like you can be allergic to coffee. Coffee, I've seen it on a couple different people's food allergy lists. And that's probably the number one thing. They're like, oh, I really hope coffee's not on my list, either that or chocolate. And because people can be allergic to chocolate too. So we don't, as a lot of people blame the different reactions that they get from drinking coffee on the actual coffee itself. And they're like, oh, I can't drink coffee. Coffee makes me super like bloated and gassy. I'm like, actually, there's probably some other stuff going on that you have a reaction to the coffee. And that's just something that needs to be addressed because it doesn't have to bother you like that. And then, so another thing we're talking about, Dr. Dennis, hey, how's it going? Never drank a cup of coffee. What? Who are you? Like, I think you're the first person I've ever met that has never drank. I mean, besides kids, I haven't had a cup of coffee. But hey, good for you. That's crazy. I'm gonna be more like you. And then another thing with coffee is the how it affects your hormones. Because some people think that it's all of their hormones and this and that, and when really they're like secondary, really tertiary. There's other things going on, and one of the things that can affect them is cortisol, which is a stress hormone. So a lot of that comes from the little adrenal glands that sit on top of your kidneys. And so if you have a high cortisol output and your body is very stressed out, running on like all cylinders, trying to just make it through the day, you don't need that extra caffeine. You're just going to stress it out even more. So the people that coffee are a little bit more of a benefit are people who are in the morning, kind of gives them a little more stimulated, they're ready to go. Cortisol takes its natural jumps throughout the day and you're good to go. Those are the type of people who, if they drink a cup of coffee at night, they're going to stay up all hours. So kind of paying attention to how your adrenals are functioning, which you really don't know until you get them tested. Same thing with food allergies. You really don't know until you get those tested. And then that can kind of tell you how your body's processing it and then whether or not it's a good thing for you to drink or not, because everybody's different, right? And the other big thing, so there's like a million benefits from coffee. Like if you Google like coffee benefits, you'll find a lot of different ones, whether it's the liver, cardiovascular system, blood sugar. The biggest ones I feel like that we talk about is collagen and elastin. Those two things that help make up protein in our bodies, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But as well as the caffeine. So we know that caffeine is a vasodilator, so which means coffee helps get things in and out of your cells. So the second big thing we want to talk about is the exchange of nutrients, and that includes toxins. So if we're drinking all this coffee, so the main thing that the coffee does is it stimulates the potassium sodium channels. So if you don't know what that is, there's like a pressure gradient in our cells. So there should be an exchange of potassium and sodium, and that helps everything move in and out of the cells. So if you're constantly stimulating this, you can either be bringing a lot of things in or losing a lot of things depending on what's going on. So if we get to this point and we consume too much coffee and it's overstimulating these pumps, you can lose nutrients. And that's not, so some people, when they drink too much coffee and they feel sick and it's not an allergy issue, a lot of that can be because the over consumption of it has just depleted your nutrients in your body. It's just trying to survive the rest of the day. And then another thing is, since it is a vasodilator, that it's one of those things that can give you the energy, but it also crosses membranes. So it can go directly on our skin, and we'll talk a little bit about more in a second how you can do with that, and it can help affect the transportation of nutrients even through the skin with the membrane. And then the bad thing about that, though, is a lot of coffee is just like filled with pesticides. Like if something like over 300 pounds of pesticides on average per acre of the coffee beans, because coffee is so popular, they just got to keep growing it and getting it out there and getting on the shelves, getting in pretty much every restaurant, every fast food, every grocery store has different types of coffees, right? So it has a high demand. So if you're getting coffee that is doused in pesticides and it's coming in and out of the cell like that, you're just destroying parts of your body. So one good thing to do is get organic coffee. And we get ours here in the office. We get organic coffee either at Whole Foods or Trader Joe's. I'm sure you can find it online. Amazon has pretty much everything. And then a really popular brand that I hear a lot about is the Bulletproof coffee. And a lot of times with that one, the reason why it's popular is because it's not only organic, it's also free of mold. Bet you didn't think you had to worry about mold in your coffee, did you? But a lot of even organic brands, they don't take care of the coffee to make sure that there's no mold or fungus in it. And that is its own can of worms or can of fungus. I'm sorry, how that can affect your body. So if you're having this coffee that's like already non-organic, full of pesticides or mold, and then you're adding in sugars. So if you're pumping all these like syrups in it, because I know when people go to Starbucks, like, yeah, give me the caramel one or the vanilla one, and then they're adding in creamers, which a lot of times are dairy creamers. Almond milk creamer, like the different flavors, is actually a really good creamer. We use the almond milk ones here unless you're allergic to almond. There's different options. So if you're having this non-organic coffee full of this sugary syrup, which is just bad for you, and then you add in all this dairy, which most people are allergic to anyways, and it's really permeating the cells, so things are getting, coffee's just driving all that junk deeper and deeper into your body, and you're just going to have more of a reaction. So if you're having the nice organic pesticide-free, like mold-free coffee, and you're having a non-dairy creamer, not adding in all these sugars, then that's going to be way better for you, because anything that you put into your body is being put into these cells, which is why the bulletproof coffees that people make at home with like the butter and the coconut oil, why it's so good for you, if you're not allergic to these things, is because it's driving these things further and further into their cells, because fats are so good for our body, especially since our brain is mostly made up of fats, which is why the keto diet is so popular too. So you're bringing in the coffee, bring all these fats that are really good for you deeper into your body. So that's why you add a little bit of ghee or a little bit of coconut oil, and it can really bring the results exponentially higher for you, which is good. And then, so the other thing talking about, which is a little bit more, I guess, non-conventional, it's like not as popular with the coffees, or the coffee enemas. So the coffee enemas, why they're kind of cool, is going back to the collagen and the elastase that we are talking about and how that's a great benefit for you. So the coffee can help stimulate directly the production of collagen, which a lot of our protein in our body is made up of collagen. And then the elastin is the help thing that helps our skin and our body cells be more elastic, if you will, elastic. So it kind of bounces back the way it's supposed to. It helps regenerate a little bit more. So we want this collagen and elastin to help our body thrive better. So the coffee will help produce it more and stimulate it. So if a lot of it lives in the intestines, and a lot of people have leaky gut, so the medical term for leaky gut is intestinal hyperpermeability, which is super common and very detrimental. Just because it's common, it's not normal though. So don't get those confused. It's not something that you should have to deal with, even though a lot of people do. So with the coffee enema, it will target this exchange of nutrients, but in the intestines. So you have a higher rate of absorption, and then the different nutrients get to be transferred for some of the people who may not be able to get full nutrient absorptions because of the leaky gut issues going on. And then it helps it heal it. So that's one good thing that I've seen a lot of people, and you can buy different versions of the coffee enemas online. You can make your own at home, but since I haven't done one of those yet, I can't tell you how to do it. So I've heard good things about it though, and it's on my list of things to try, and then I'll report back to you guys and let you know how that goes. And if you've done one, let us know how that went too, if you're brave enough to put that in the comment section. And then, but it shouldn't be this like crazy, like taboo thing. It's like, it's great for you, so might as well try it. And the other thing that you can do if you don't want to try the enema just yet is a coffee mask. So those have been a little bit more popular. I've seen the coffee scrubs, different things like that. Dr. Brenda's done this one too. So we talked about it being a vasodilator, exchanging of nutrients. So it makes sense that we really, really want to feed our skin. And we just did a video last week on acne and how you can help feed your skin by addressing your gut problems. So if you want to apply something directly to the skin, we can add coffee. We're going to add avocado because that's the fatty acids that we talked about that can help drive into our cells a little bit more. And then things like coconut oil, honey, those are great things to put on your skin, as well as cacao. The one good thing about cacao, well, there's multiple good things, but it has steel bromine in it, which has a driving effect. So it just further facilitates that coffee diving into the cells, helping with this nutrient transportation. So you can put all these things in a bowl, lave it on your face, your arms, your hands, really any of the skin. Doesn't have to just be your face. And it's going to feel like super smooth and just like radiant and healthy. And you can even add some essential oils, although I like the way the cacao smells, so you don't have to if you don't want to. And leave that in for about 15 minutes and then just wash it off. And let us know how you feel about that. So it's a great way if you're not a coffee drinker, but you are thinking of getting some of the effects of coffee. Make it into a face mask, and that way you still get some good things and you don't have to drink it. So that's about all I got for coffee for today for you guys. I hope somebody learned something. I'm glad you guys got to drop on in. Hey Michelle, see you later. Perfect, thank you. And if you guys have anything that you want us to talk about next week or the following week, leave it in the comment section, or you can message us privately if you want to, and then we can do some research, bring it up for you guys, and then kind of just educate people. That's why we're here. And then if you have any other questions, you can call us in the office. We are having an inflammation talk tonight in the office. There are a few seats left, so if you want to be a part of that, find out what's it about, how's it affecting me, what can I do to fix it, call us at 713-780-8343, and we would love to try to save you a seat for tonight. That's all I got for you guys. So I hope everybody has a fantastic Tuesday. And be sure to like, comment, and share if any of your friends who are coffee lovers or coffee haters, and let them know that you learned something new today. Bye, guys.